All right, what is going on, guys? UFC Fight Night Emmett versus Murphy is over, and these are going to be the fights to make after the event. We're going to be starting off with the main event winner of Lerone Murphy. Point fighted his way to a decision win against Josh Emmett in a very boring main event slot. He wants to fight Brian Ortega. He called Brian Ortega out. I don't dislike the matchup, but I'm pretty sure Brian Ortega is moving up to lightweight, which is what I've seen online. And I don't 100% remember, but I think I remember him saying it in an interview. He took the Lopez fight, but he really wanted to move up to lightweight. So Ortega might be moving up to lightweight, which honestly I think he just needs to stay at featherweight. He has like no muscle at all. I think he would be extremely underpowered and undersized at lightweight. Just needs to stay at featherweight. So I was thinking on who I could give Murphy above him in the rankings. Nonetheless, of how boring of a fight it was, he still won the fight. So this is what I came up with. Going to be the winner of Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. I'm leaning Rodriguez right now. I think Yair is going to be able to win. I am kind of worried about him getting out-grappled. But he's old, not Rodriguez. I mean, he's kind of old. He's like 33. But I think Patricio's getting old. I don't know if he's going to be able to deal with the awkward striking of Yair Rodriguez. So I'm leaning for him to win this fight. But if not, throw Lerone Murphy in there. They're fighting next weekend. So throw him in there with Pitbull. Maybe like into summer, July, something like that. Should be a good fight either way, no matter who it is. Moving up, Josh Emmett, or moving down. Loser of the main event. Again, I'm kind of giving him a matchup contingent too, and that is Sean Woodson. I'm right now leaning Sean Woodson to beat Dan Ige, and if Dan Ige wins, give him the rematch with Josh Emmett. I thought Ige won that fight. It was a very competitive fight. Emmett won. Very controversial fight at the time. So rebook that rematch. If Woodson wins over Dan Ige, which again, like I said, that's what I'm leaning right now. Go ahead and give him another step up in competition in Josh Emmett. Emmett will need some time off. I'm sure Woodson will need a little bit of time off as well. Come back towards the end of the year. This would be a great fight. And again, unfortunately for Emmett, unless he can clip Woodson on the chin, I think it's going to be a similar fight to the Murphy fight that just happened. I think Woodson will dance around, use his kicks, teep kicks, uses straight shots, keep Emmett at bay, and kind of just win a decision. But then if Ige wins, I think that'd be a great matchup for Danny Ige. I think he could probably get the win this time over Josh Emmett. Moving down, Pat Sabatini completely shuts down Joanderson Brito in the co-main event. And what I came up with was Chepe Mariscal. Mariscal is undefeated in the UFC. Really looking for about one more solid win than to being able to fight somebody in that top 15 of the featherweight division. He's 5-0 in the UFC. Sabatini now on a 2-fight winning streak against a couple of decent names. So I think, either one of these guys, maybe Sabatini needs a couple more wins, even if he gets the win over Chepe Mariscal. But I think Mariscal, if he gets the win over Pat Sabatini, he definitely deserves to fight somebody in that top 15 of the featherweight division. Joanderson Brito, loser, gets wet blanketed in the co-main event, has nothing to offer off his back, can't get up to save his life. We're going to give him Morgan Charrier. Morgan Charrier, kind of, I think he's 2-2 in the UFC, so kind of a bag of mixed results. I don't know if the UFC is keeping him around or not. I haven't seen that UFC cuts Twitter saying he's been cut from the roster. So I think I would lean pretty heavily Joanderson Brito to win this fight, even though I lean heavily for him to win his last fight. But I just don't see Morgan Charrier being able to out-grapple him. For Charrier, maybe he could outpoint Brito and win a decision like that, but I could just see Joanderson Brito going out there and getting the finish over Morgan Charrier. Moving on, Brad Tavares wins the unanimous decision against GM3 Gerald Meerschaert. And Didn't look the greatest. He looked decent. Don't both Mearshart had his moments in the last round and a little bit in round 2. Was able to kind of rush forward and as far as I don't know if he was worried about the takedown, but he was just getting clipped up a little bit. I know I've heard him talk in the past about wanting another championship run. That's not going to happen. He's like 36 or 37 years old. He's old. He's been through a lot of wars, a lot of damage. Let's see him in some fun fights. And I know another person who's kind of older in the middleweight division would definitely be a fun fight. And that is your boy Eric Anders. This would definitely be a good throwdown match. I think Anders is coming off that win of Weidman, and another veteran of the sport and of the UFC, Brad Tavares, would be another great name for Eric Anders to go against. I would favor Brad Tavares to win that fight. But again, it would be kind of two veterans in the UFC going at it. I think this would be a great matchup. Moving on. Gerald Mearshart loses to Brad Tavares. And I'm pairing up with another loser of the card. That is Robert Valentin. I do not know if the UFC is going to be keeping Valentin around. He is 0-2 in the UFC. The first fight he lost was on the Ultimate Fighter finale. And then this fight gets wet blanketed by Finney Torres. Or Torres Finney. I can't fucking remember the guy's name. He's right there. So I'm thinking maybe the UFC will give him one more chance to get a win. And in this case, they both lost on the card. Mearshart's on a 2-fight losing streak right now. There's a 2-fight, yeah. RDR and Tavares. Yeah, so he's on a 2-fight losing streak right now. Before that, he had a couple wins going for him. In this fight, I think this would be a good matchup. Could Valentin keep it standing, keep it on the feet? And he definitely has a striking advantage over Gerald Mearshart. But could Mearshart get him down and get the submission win? I don't know. Let's see. Hopefully, that would be a decent matchup. Moving up, Ode Osborne gets the second round KO. Talk about a bag of mixed results in the UFC. I think he has a losing record in the UFC, if I remember correctly. I want to say it's like 3 or 4 and 6. I could be wrong on that. Maybe that was somebody else I was looking at. I kind of went around looking at some prospects in the flyweight division, and I came up with Loner Kavanaugh, 2-0 in the UFC, a win over Ode Osborne. Osborne's kind of like the gatekeeper of like that top 20, fringe top 15 in the men's flyweight division. And for Ode Osborne, he needs to prove that he can still beat these up-and-coming contenders. I know he just fought somebody who was fresh off the contender series, but that guy wasn't any good. And yeah, he was out grappling Ode Osborne. So we need to see if he can still improve his grappling from fight to fight. I think this would be a great fight between him and Loner Kavanaugh. Moving on. Torres Finney gets the wet blanket split decision win over Robert Valentin. All right, we're back. Sorry for that interruption. Had to get your boy right here. Anyway, Torres Finney, wet blanket, gets the win. Wet blankets Robert Valentin to get the win. Listen, the matchup I'm going to give him doesn't make any sense at all, but I think he would have a pretty good chance of beating Finney on the feet and stuffing the takedowns. Could be wrong. He has been slightly out-grappled in the past, and that is going to be Bruno Ferreira. Bruno Ferreira has brutal knockout power, and I want to see him knock out Torres Finney after what he just did. Completely just wrestled to win the fight. You know, fair play to him. He did that. He wrestled. That's all he did. He didn't do any damage. Complete control to get the win. It's boring. We don't want to see that shit. I want to see him get knocked out. Fuck Torres Finney for making this shit boring. Moving on. Last but not least, Chang Ho Lee gets the second round. What was it? A submission? Fuck, I already forgot what he got. And I think it was TKO. TKO over, was it Cartavius Romeus? Something like that. I don't know how quickly he's looking to get back in there. So the opponent I picked for him, who was on a hot streak before he just lost, does have like slight name value. Nothing super big or anything. And that is Javid Basharat. Just got brutally slept by Ricky Simone. I think this would be a great step up in competition for Chang Ho Lee. Another person who has good, decent grappling. I think Lee might have slightly better in the wrestling department, but I would definitely give Javid the jiu-jitsu advantage in that fight. I think this would be a great test to see kind of where Chang Ho Lee's at. And for Basharat, see if he can come back from that brutal KO loss, and he'll want some more time off before he jumps right into a training camp. So we'll give Lee some time to work in the gym and time for Basharat to recover, maybe to come back like early fall. So let me know what you guys think of these picks. Do you guys have any fights you would make differently? If so, let me know in the comment section down below. Drop a like on this video. Make sure to subscribe if you are not subscribed. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.